Welcome everybody to the Drastik Measure Monthly or TDM Monthly or whatever we want to call it. Actually, it's TDM Monthly, let's be real. But welcome everybody to the show. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, which really is the only place you can still listen to our stuff, go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, do all the fun stuff. Follow all the socials down in the description below. And I'm not going to bother with the other part that I usually put in here because, god damn it, I need that joke for the other two podcasts we're recording tonight before I go insane.
Oh boy, it's gonna be one of those days. Got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Y'all know who I am. I'm Rev. This is the new podcast here on Boycott Everything. Every month I will be getting a draw, and hopefully Foxy and Noah to be permanent people here, and we will discuss the last month of gaming. So tonight we will be discussing the releases in September and how good they were, and which ones they really liked, and which ones was good. And then we will be discussing the conversation. The conversation will switch to what games are releasing the next month. So you will hear about October's releases from us. Tonight, though, is episode 1, so I'm super fucking stoked to move forward. So I'm going to introduce everybody one at a time. Noah, dear, my friend, tell us about you and anything you need to say.
Good morning. I'm Noah Dia. I'm I don't know. I'm a streamer for 5 years. Today is my birthday, and I play a bunch of video games and collect PAX arcade pins.
PAX arcade pins. I haven't heard those words in a long fucking time. That's amazing.
So wait. We're recording this on your birthday?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we need.
This is the shittiest birthday present I've ever gave anybody.
Okay, guys, we need to gather around. We need to make up a birthday song for Noah.
Nope.
And he's got to dance to it, even though no one can see it.
Nope.
He's dancing. It's happy. It's your day of birth.
Next up,
is there anything you would like to promote your Twitch channel? Because we're gonna get your social media and stuff after the podcast, so we can put it on the screen. So anything, Twitch channel, charity, anything you'd like to promote, go ahead.
I regularly stream on TDM, but I also stream on my private channel. That is twitch.tv/Noadia. And I'm also on Twitter too, under a totally different name.
You'll send that to us, and it'll be on the screen for the entirety of the podcast.
Absolutely.
Foxy EXE is our other person. I don't want to call him a guest because I have a plan for them to be a permanent fixture on this podcast. So, Foxy EXE, tell us about yourself and do your thing.
I've mostly been a gamer most of my life. Everything nerdy, anime, you name it. I probably know a bit about it, if not just heard it just passing by. Mostly at the moment, I'm a reviewer for TDM. Nothing more, nothing less at the time. I played D&D with Noah here. I'm friends with most of, well, I want to say at least half of the people in TDM at the time, and it's just been a great time with them.
And anything you would like to promote?
Nothing too much. I don't have anything myself. Most of the times when I stream or do videos, it's mostly just to make funny inside jokes with friends, or might as well stream as I play a game to find more people playing the game.
Alrighty. We're gonna pick something to put up there for you, if that's okay with you.
Just put up just the TDM stuff.
That's what I was gonna do. And last but not least, my motherfucking brother, the owner and founder of the Drastik Measure, I think it's how it's said. Drawl.
What's up?
You know the deal, man. People don't know you. Not everybody knows you. So tell us who you are.
Founder of TDM, streamer for wait, what year is it? 9 years? 10 years? 10 years. Streamer for 10 years.
Yeah.
Since 2009. Yeah. Been running TDM for the last 6 years. Started TDM as a blog, and now we got 30 staff people doing reviews, streams. We're doing hardware and accessory reviews this year. It's new from the past years, so we're branching out, and next year we're looking into getting into comic books and TV shows.
Very nice, very nice. And is there anything you want to promote that's not TDM, like your channel?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
You can follow him at twitch.tv/the Drastik Measure or DrawlXX. That both of them will be down in the diddly do below. But let's go ahead and get into our show. I'm going to be the most generic show host of all time, boys. Y'all ready? First question.
Do it.
First question. Answer from Wooly first.
Aw.
If you could live in any video game fantasy world, so it could even be real life, like Madden and whatever. You can live in any video game world. What would it be and why? Wooly, you're first.
Well, just to make a quick joke here, if I was going to pick Madden, that would still be a fantasy world for me. Yeah, 5'9" and a fat fuck. That ain't gonna happen. Fantasy world. I'd be really interested to either live in the Pokemon universe or the universe of Star Fox.
Yeah.
Foxy knows what I'm talking about. All right. But either of those two, because those are like my two favorite series that I would at least want to live in.
I'll just go short, just so my answer is here. Everybody that actually knows me that's watching and listening, it's Final Fantasy, and that's because fuck you, Final Fantasy 3/6 is the best game ever made. Next up, Foxy EXE. What is your choice?
Oh, dude. If it wasn't Star Fox, it would have to be. I can never pronounce the world of it, but it's the same world in Final Fantasy where they do the Final Fantasy Tactics and 12 and all that. 11. Any of that.
Yeah.
It starts with an I. I can't pronounce it for the life of me. But either of those two ones. And the only reason I'm not 100% Star Fox, because in half the games, you're literally going through a war that takes out like half of the solar system.
Damn.
Well,
That's true. I never thought about that.
but you're flying around in space.
You are in Star Trek too, but you know.
All right. Mr. Drawl, you're up.
Star Wars,
I don't know why I asked.
but I'd also have to, have midi-chlorians and be able to have the Force.
Yeah.
Well,
You
if
couldn't
they
just
have
be a
that-
citizen?
Nope.
I'll ask you a second question. Favorite character in Star Wars?
I feel like I should say the one that is actually my favorite, but for the sake of it, I'm just gonna go with Jar Jar Binks.
See,
God
that
damn
is
it.
Look, man, that is my favorite. I don't like you no
Okay,
more.
I can't talk to you anymore. Like we're no longer friends.
He's the darkest, deadliest, most fucked up Jedi in history, man. What the hell are you talking about? He is a Sith to the core.
But it's actually Darth Maul. So if you actually say draw and then say Darth Maul, it makes sense.
Oh, that does make sense. Noah, your choice.
The world of Persona 5 to be precise, because either I'm going to be a fantastic thief changing the world and living above a coffee shop, or I'm just going to be a really Joe Blow civilian, but in a very stylish and colorful world.
Oh, so I'm going to play a new game with you. We're going to call this Sell Rev a Game. Noah, you have 30 seconds to sell me the Persona series. Go.
Oh, I've never played a Persona game. What are you talking about?
That new series and this podcast couldn't have gone better. All right, first topic, boys. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, we're going to be discussing the games that were released the previous month. So for the month of September, there was a lot of releases. Not so good and not so bad, but there was a lot. Noah, what is your top 3, top 1, top 5, whatever your list is? The best games released in the month of September 2019.
I've currently only played through 4 games in September. Gibless, A Cthulhu Adventure, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Astral Chain, and then technically Super Mario Maker. Legend of Zelda Awakening is awesome. It's the top game that I played. That is until I get to the hypest point of Astral Chain, because I am a giant Platinum Star fanboy, and I've just hit like the 3rd chapter, so I haven't completed that one yet. And then The Gibless Tale is a story that I kickstarted on a while ago, and it's just I don't know. That one seems like it's a very nice point and click adventure game from the 90s.
And if you had to pick one, which one is your?
Oh, Link's Awakening,
I've
hands down.
never really been in. Period. That's something I probably need to check out eventually.
It's
Ugh.
good. It's lovely. It's self-contained. It has one main quest and one side quest, and that's it.
We will go with you next, Mr. Foxy. What is your games or game that you released last month that you really liked?
The best part is with September, it brings out everything to come like in the fall. So this was like the first big month too much stuff comes out. Because we were first hit with the Smash Brothers update with Banjo, then Iceborne, and then everyone that releases their game this year pretty much releases it soon. And I would have to go with Link's Awakening definitely. Uh, Untitled Goose Game, I it's it's definitely a favorite for this month. The only thing is, Link's Awakening pulls out ahead for me just because of my memories of it from when I first played it on the Game Boy and seeing it how it is now. Gives the exact same feel as when I first played it. I love the art style. I love how they went that direction with it. But that and Untitled Goose Game were probably the best ones of this month for me.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of the Untitled.
You're cutting out some for me.
Yeah.
I am?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Better.
Okay. The Untitled Goose Game is something I want to play really bad because I watched like 10 streamers play it, and giggling and having fun is something that always sells games for me. So that is definitely. I'm going to go off kilter because once again, I don't play the Zelda games. My release of the month of September that was by far the best was Borderlands 3. Like, that is all. Gears of War 5 released and it was really fun, but Borderlands 3 was such an amazingly good, fun game that I can't think of nothing else other than Gears of War 5 that was just as good. Like, so that's mine. Jarl?
This might take a bit.
Oh, well, do your thing, boo boo.
Okay, so I mean, it started really, really strong with they put Spyro out on PC, so Spyro Reunited Trilogy. They brought Torchlight 2 to consoles for the first time, and Catherine Full Body to PS4 as well. Those were great, but Children of Morta is the first really big one that was really good. They released Divinity Original Sin 2 to Switch, which again, that's one of the best games of all time in my opinion. Gears 5 came out. It was really good. And Borderlands 3, which is one of my biggest picks for the month. Greedfall. Rebel Cops. And Code Vein. And I think Code Vein was probably my favorite for the whole month, for sure.
What about Code Vein? Why is it up there?
Vampires.
All right.
I mean, it's an anime Souls-like vampire game.
I was about to say he really likes the Souls games too. So when you add vampires and anime to a Souls game, it's going to be something that piques interest.
And The Surge 2 is a Souls game, and I really like it too. But there's multiple endings to Code Vein, so like for someone that actually wants to replay through the whole game 3 times, there's actual replayability to it on top of that, where there's not a lot to Surge 2 to that point, but so there's a lot of really good games this month.
Yeah, I think some of the games I didn't realize that came out this month was Blasphemous. I didn't realize that came out in September. That game was amazing. The re-release, the release of Devil May Cry on Switch has got to be one of the funniest damn things I've ever seen in my life. Same thing with Dead by Daylight. But we can get into the next question because of two of the games that were released in September that were huge failures. So, Draw, you're first up. What is the worst game that released in the month of September?
See, this would have been a close one, and it was on the possible good game list until what happened to you the other day, and that would have to be Double Hunt.
Oh, why did you bring that up? For anybody that watches my stream, I played the game for 2.5 hours, and Draw would confirm I was loving the fuck out of that game. Like, I don't get caught in games very much anymore. That game had my attention. And then I froze completely up. I had to crash the game. And then when I went back in, 100% of the stuff I've done was gone.
Oh, rip.
How much hours?
2.5, almost 3 hours, right, Draw?
Oh,
Yep.
And I was pretty far into the game from what I'm seeing elsewhere. I was really far into the fucking game. So I want that to be my number one, but my number one is 2K NBA horrible game. The end. Noah?
So I try to keep my head, like, for the sake of my wallet, I don't follow too many games. But I was going to say that 2K20 is my favorite game to watch as it becomes a giant dumpster fire on twitter.com.
and on youtube.com.
And on twitch.tv and on mixer.com.
Well, to be fair, Twitch streamers and Mixer streamers are really not shitting on it like Twitter and YouTube is. Holy crap. Like, Noah's right here.
I don't usually, well, not since Arkham Knight, where I follow a game without giving it like plenty of distance to make sure that it doesn't shit the bed on launch day. That being said, I will actively tune in to a good dumpster fire. And NBA 2K was the dumpster fire of September.
Just think about this, boys, before I get to Foxy. In a world that has Madden, FIFA, and WWE 2K, that will probably go down as the worst release in sports history.
So far.
So, well, yeah.
Don't you dare.
WWE 2K comes out this coming month.
Don't
Never
you dare
underestimate EA.
Guys, don't you dare assume that NBA 2K21 will be any less.
Exactly. No, NBA 2K21 is still coming out next year. So
I look
is
forward
why
to a year from now.
Yeah, you're right. It's the worst so far ever. Because, like, I've never seen a developer actually get a hashtag on Twitch, a single developer. And he's not even the developer, he's a marketing manager. And he hashtag Ronnie Fire Ronnie 2K, that's fucking serious. That's a bad release. Foxy, what is your pick?
Real quick, a quote from one of my favorite YouTubers, Video Game Donkey.
Yes.
Don't worry, guys. EA will find a way to fuck it up. He said that with Battlefront 2. No matter how good it looks, they do something. They dropped the ball with FIFA 20 and NBA 2K20, but NBA 2K20 pulls a bit more ahead with with not just the game mishaps, but even on the PC release, still having the NBA 2K19 logo
as the desktop icon.
As the desktop icon.
Wait, what?
Stuff like that takes the cake.
The down in the taskbar, you know how it says NBA 2K20 or it's supposed to? It's still the NBA 2K19 logo.
How the hell do you fuck that up?
Look, since I think that's pretty much across the board except for Draw, and I agree with Draw that NBA 2K had the worst release. Let me tell you the things that went wrong, Wooly, so you understand the dumpster fire this is.
All right.
FIFA had just as much dumpster fires. But the thing is, NBA had such little niche things that's like, how could you screw that up where it pulls ahead into the trash pile?
But I can't let EA take the blame for this one. This one is on 2K Games, not EA.
This is on 2K. What's the other company? There's another company that it's neither here nor there. I will not put anything near this 2K release because in a month, a marketing manager for a company told people that there was going to be 7 things added to the game that was really needed in the game, never was added. So false advertising. As much as EA is trash, they don't do that. They do not outright come out and say this will be in the game, knowing damn well it's not going to be in the game. Then the servers, there's 2 game modes that you still can't play. We're 3.5 weeks into this release, and you still can't play certain game modes for longer than an hour before a crash. The store system, the not gambling store system, the very much gambling store system, it still crashes and takes money and doesn't give back the money. You lose. It's just, this is by far, Destiny was a garbage. Battlefront 2 was garbage, but this is next fucking level of fuckery. Because this is a marketing manager, the person that's connected with basketball players telling blatant fucking lies. And now he's pretty much dry snitching on one of the bigger community members. There's a community member, his name is Agent 000, and he basically is telling agents' personal fucking life in public to get shit off of him. Well, he shouldn't be mad at me because I did this for him a couple years ago. It's so shitty behavior. And I'll kick off the next one, which is the game that you're supposed to be looking forward to the most of October. October is always WWE month for me. I love 2K. I don't know if I want to spend a dime with that company now.
May I make one extra comment about the bugs?
Absolutely.
The funny thing is, you can have a bug-ridden release and have a lot of problems with your game and it still be very successful. Borderlands 3 pretty much proves that right there. It was very bug-ridden to the point it was even deleting some people's save data. It was still a huge selling game. It still sold well. It was their most pre-ordered one, and it's still being very successful despite the bugs.
Yeah. That's the first 24 hours of Borderlands 3 was trash. But after that, they fixed it. Here's a stat for you. You know that NBA 2K20 for 2K has had 36 gigabytes of updates in 3 weeks.
Jeez.
That's a lot.
That's an entire game.
I have something much fucking worse, though. When you downloaded the game, if you're an Xbox user, you downloaded 72 gigabytes worth of a game. So you add 36, where are you at?
This is pretty much as high as the Call of Duty games now.
72. Do you understand the fuckery going on with that company when I can say that with a straight face and know it's fact?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being someone that gets data capped and wanting to play that game.
So you have to download 100 gigabytes worth of a game that's only 72 gigabytes still. The game has not grown past 1 gigabyte since, but they've had 36 gigabytes worth of a drop. What kind of fuckery is that? Because
that's crazy.
I would expect if I download 36 gigabytes to a 72 gigabyte game to have 100 gigabytes, not 72. Like, it's not gone up hardly any, and it's crazy because that means they're removing shit from the game and not telling you. Have y'all seen the patch notes for this week's patch?
No.
In our Discord, you see the last 3 messages from Foxy? It's about that long.
Oh.
Fit.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Is that patch notes for those games? Like, I used to read MMO patch notes where those things were novellas. For the common man outside of that game, good, bad, spell it out for us.
Spell it out for you. I'm going to post it in Discord, and Wooly, if you'd like to add this to the stream, you can. That is the patch notes for the patch that just released.
Hardly anything, and it did that much.
Is that not fucking insane?
How big was this?
31 gigabytes from what the guy on YouTube said yesterday that I was watching.
For that?
For that.
Yeah, looking at those notes, that means that most of it was all on their performance and stability, which means they screwed up their models and had to remodel.
What was that game that released, Draw? Me and you talked about it last year. Released oh no, it wasn't me and you, it was me and Lolly. Remember when they released Tony Hawk 5?
Oh my
How can you forget?
Don't this kind of feel like that?
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but like I was really getting it. I'm really, really into the NBA 2K community on YouTube because it's some of the most genuinely funny fucking people on earth playing a game they love. And to watch them, all of them, Troy Dan, Agent, Nasty, all of them guys fucking hate this game. And they're still trying to put content out. And we won't even get into the contract mess because I think 2K is probably going to end up getting sued with how badly their contracts are for content creators. I'm just talking about a 36 gigabyte worth of patch not equaling 100 gigs on top of a 72 gigabyte game. That makes no fucking sense. That is an issue. That means that EA will have to shit the bed with every game for the next year to be that bad.
Yeah,
They're already on track.
FIFA was not as bad as last year's FIFA.
I was about to say 30 some odd gigs. I would expect like there to be new game mode, maybe some new like I don't know, like bring in like the Bulls from the 90s. Like put that team in there. I don't know.
I have to admit
Looney
though,
Tunes.
Go ahead,
Looney
Foxy.
Tunes.
Go ahead,
That's
Foxy. God damn it.
But I was worried about NBA and FIFA and those because when E3 was going on, they talked a lot of good stuff about Madden, and a lot of the Madden stuff really looked good in E3. But with FIFA, they were not really talking much about the game itself or showing it, and that kind of made me nervous for it. Kind of like with, and they didn't do too much with NBA either, so that made me nervous about those.
Yeah, here's the thing. Let this soak in because this is real. Because me and Draw did it. Madden is the best released sports game in 2019 so far.
I wasn't even a Madden fan, and even from E3, I'm like, that's cool. I want to give this game a try if I get the extra money.
There is issues with Madden. That's why me and Draw are no longer playing Madden. But release-wise, it's the best one of the group. And that's actually insane. Because last year, it took me and Draw like a week to play. Me, Draw, and Wooly like a week to play Madden.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, at least you haven't had your game out for a year and a half, and you just now had to recall the collector's edition item.
Hey,
Hey.
as that game's being played on my Twitch channel right now. Thanks, Draw. But yeah, I'll use it as a segue because it's funny. Every year, I look forward to the Call of Duty release and the WWE release, and I'm really stuck at: do I want to try to get WWE for me and Draw to fuck around with this year? Because
I got to cut you off. See, that you may not realize it because it comes out this month, but your favorite game for this month that you're most hyped for is actually Monkey King.
wait, that comes out this month?
Like it comes out.
Yep. Yeah, no,
October.
never mind. I don't fucking care about the rest of them. Wukong comes out. Fuck you.
All right,
Monkey King comes out.
so we're not getting copies of Modern Warfare then.
Well, you can get one for sure. Okay, see, I can't say no to that or yes to that, Wooly, because Wukong may be one of those games that I'm really looking forward to that is absolutely hot garbage. The system may not work well for me because I'm now the best feeling dungeon crawler, dungeon like game that I've played in the last couple years is Hades.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't feel as smooth as Hades, I will have a problem with it no matter what the content of the game is. With Call of Duty, we already know what it feels like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got a video up on my personal channel for.
We have a funny fucking video up on your personal channel.
Why would people rage at a video game and then 30 seconds of just complete rage?
And me laughing.
This is funniest day to have my face get hit with a penis ever.
Now, I'm really looking forward to Call of Duty. I did not know Monkey King comes out this month, so that makes me. I don't have to worry about WWE draw. If we get it, we get it. If not, fuck it, whatever. Woolie's excited about Call of Duty, so we don't even have to ask him because he is a Call of Duty fanboy. So,
While we're talking about Call of Duty, though, since you two really like it, how do you guys feel about what Sony did, having that year exclusive to that one mode?
Okay, so
we're gonna actually get into that next after
Okay.
this
All right.
topic. So, Foxy, what is the game you're looking for? One game that you're looking for the most this month?
This month, and the only reason is the Outer Worlds. It would be Luigi's Mansion 3, but that's like it's coming out on Halloween, which that's like getting a Christmas sweater on Christmas. It's like, when am I going to wear it now? But the Outer Worlds, I'm so looking forward to this from Obsidian Entertainment. They were the same people who did Fallout New Vegas, and I feel like they're literally taking what they did there and making a whole new game just based on that RPG shooter style. And I am just so looking forward to this one.
Wait, that comes out this month too?
The 5th.
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
fucking God.
He stole my game.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about? That game comes out next year.
Nope.
Are you sure?
On Xbox and on Epic, or Windows 10, it comes out October 25th.
And
It's
for the
even
rest of
coming to
us,
Switch and all that stuff too.
making a joke that I don't acknowledge the Epic Store,
Yeah.
and that all games come out from that channel is released 1 year later.
But here's the thing: it's also on the Windows 10 Game Pass, or the Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. So if you sub
Yeah, I know.
for $15, bam, there it is. You just play it through Windows 10, and you're already using Windows 10, so why not?
Willie, how are we supposed to do 15 podcasts a month when all these games are releasing?
I don't know,
Multitask.
between all these game releases and my hockey season tickets,
Yeah.
we're fucked.
Well, don't worry, December will be short.
What do you mean?
There's like 12 games coming out in the whole month of December.
Damn. So Fox and Droll Fox is on the same level with the game. Noah?
The I have like 2 games because the one I'm most hyped for is the Digimon Cyber Sleuth collection that's coming to PC this month. It's
Nice.
basically the 2 Cyber Sleuth Digimon games that were on the PlayStation and they're just coming to PC. It's going to be a bundled deal. I love Digimon. I've been yearning for those games ever since they've been released, but I don't have a PlayStation, so I never played them. Shit looks good. I haven't played a Digimon game in decades.
Damn.
I want you to know that my head is currently playing the Digimon theme right now.
As it should.
Digimon, digital monsters, now you get a copyright.
Jesus Christ.
So that's my kind of AAA game, although it's probably like AA game. The slight indie game that I'm interested in is Mistover, which looks like a tactical-based Korean game, but with the aesthetics of Darkest Dungeon.
Well, guess who just nominated themselves to stream the game during the marathon when TDM runs it?
I guess.
Congratulations.
I guess I'll play that game. I'm looking forward to the second most. It's going to be rough, by the way. So I want to put this out here. It's going to be rough. I'm playing like October is going to be Digimon month. And it's going to be rough playing those games and then going into November and having to deal with the Pokemon game. Like, I don't know if you guys saw this. Someone made a lovely page of like all of the content and quality of life and little like stuff that Digimon has that like Pokemon has like cut throughout their games. Where it's like you can have 3 Digimon follow you in the overworld. Can't do that in Sword and Shield.
Oh.
It's pretty bad.
I just realized, Draw, I have to say that the full release of Children of Morta is this month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that, and I would be remiss to say that I'm not excited about a new Grid, because I love Grid. So there's a lot of games coming out this month, and I did not realize that. So I can't give you my. As long as y'all understand that I do not know if I'm okay with spending money with 2K anymore.
I mean, Destiny 2 Shadowkeep came out today.
What is that?
Shadowkeep
Destiny.
Yeah, that was the new expansion for Destiny, and with Breaking Point or Ghost Recon Breakpoint, that game Indivisible I showed you by the developers of Skullgirls.
Yep.
That's probably my second for the month, and there's just so many, so many coming out this month. It's insane.
I don't know if you can't tell, but me and Wooly has been like pretty much into doing podcast a fucking lot, so I haven't been paying attention to this shit I normally do.
And you'll actually be playing one of the games that's coming out in a couple of weeks.
I'm hoping more than one.
Well, Trails of Cold Steel 3.
Oh yeah. I already have it downloaded. And hopefully we get Grid. That'd be awesome. What else? What else we talk about today? There's another one, dungeon crawler like game. I'd have to look.
Moons of Madness, the new game from Funcom.
Yeah.
This month. Stranded Sails looks good.
So let's get on with the last question, and we can get the hell up out of here. And this is going to be a serious question, so if you have a serious answer, answer it. If you don't, Wooly, just give me a smart-ass answer. Now that Epic has proven what they're doing with their games is actually good for gaming, do you see more companies starting up their own shit like Rockstar to where they take away from Steam even more? And I will start with Wooly.
Well, I mean, we've kind of seen that already because EA Origin is a thing. Battle.net with both Blizzard and Activision games. Like, Call of Duty has pretty much completely left Steam for Battle.net. I mean, who knows? Because as far as I'm aware, Steam is still the biggest platform and for PC games, so I mean, I don't know, it's tough to tell.
And before I kick it to you, Noah, I just want to say that I was like a lot of people. When I think Epic Games, I think Horrible Night, and I didn't want to download that game, and I didn't understand why I needed another system. But now that I've been downloading games from my account and playing games for Draw on the side, I can say that for gaming, Epic is 100% good for gaming. It's good for us. It's good for the developers. It's good for the companies. And there is nobody in the world that can tell me differently without showing me numbers to prove me wrong, because I have the numbers to prove them wrong. Like, I have the numbers backing what I'm saying. Borderlands 3 is by far the biggest example. The game released in a buggy mess because it's on a friendly launcher and because of the way it was released. There was not a whole lot of, well, we have to fix it here and here. It's okay, we have to fix it here. We have to fix it on Xbox. We have to fix it on PlayStation. Done. And it got fixed really fast. And Foxy just told you, it's one of the highest selling games of the year, at least, if not the highest of the year so far. And it's killing it. Like, everybody likes this game. So I think that Epic, as much as I had trepidation and fucking hated Epic when I first came out, I don't want another launcher, I'm kind of okay with it. So Noah, what do you think?
Well, I appreciate what they do for the indie games. Like, I can't get mad at Sunken City, despite that was a game I was looking forward to playing on Steam, because the game devs came out and said, hey, we couldn't make the game unless we took money, and they were offering us fat stacks of cash, and we wanted to make the best version of the game we had. So that was okay. I don't think Gearbox needed the Epic handout to make their game, considering the buggy mess that it was in. But to answer your initial question, do you think you see other game companies making their own launches? I think a lot of them can't. We see EA and we have Ubisoft and we have Blizzard. Those are the three biggest game developers in the world, and they have adequate launches.
Wait,
Battle.net.
you're gonna put Uplay as adequate?
Well, like
The launcher itself, yes.
But all of them like lack the finesse of what Steam have been polishing for the past few decades. So like all of these launches are kind of subpar to Steam, considering what Steam has to offer. Like Epic still doesn't have a shopping cart, and they don't have forums. I read that news report that Battlefield 3 fans had to go to Steam's Borderlands 2 forums to talk about bugs and fixes and stuff for their systems, which is kind of hilarious. But even outside of the Steam good, Epic bad, Circle Jerk, Animal Farm speak, nobody has the money to do what Epic is doing with their store. At best, Blizzard, who has the fat stacks of cash, and EA, they can only really make a launcher for their games. They can't go out and buy other games like Control and Borderlands and Outer Worlds to have it exclusively on their system. They just don't have the Fortnite money for it. And I don't think anyone else has Fortnite money to go out and straight up buy exclusivities. So we're not going to have another Epic Store contender to Steam. But I also think, I hope at least, game developers are like looking at what's happening to the streaming networks with Disney Plus, HBO Go, Hulu Plus, Netflix, the Peacock for NBC. And I hope they realize that like there's only so much so many systems people are willing to download and spend and buy money on before it becomes ineffective and the bubble kind of pops. So I hope for the most part it just kind of stays on those, handful of launches, and that like you don't see, I don't know, who's Idea Factory coming out with their own Idea Factory launcher for their Neptunian games.
So since it's a podcast and it's supposed to be open conversations, I'm going to throw a question at you, and I want an honest answer. Okay?
Yes.
My honest question to you is, the forums. It's not really a question; it's a statement, and you can take it as is and respond to me. The forums and the downvoting system on on Steam is the most cancerous thing in all of gaming. Period. End of story. There's nothing that it comes close to the fact that I can go on 4 games right now and show you death threats to the developer for releasing a game that wasn't complete or up to somebody's liking. So my question to you, I do have a question actually. Is it not better with the anonymity of the games being on a launcher that is friendly than being on something that is absolutely cancerous?
So I think you're not equating that just because of one aspect of the thumbs up, thumbs down of video games makes the entire Steam thing bad, right?
But that is the argument you just used, because they don't have the forum, and the thumbs up, thumbs down is part of the forum. Since they don't have the forums, that's one of the issues you have with Epic. I think I'm hitting points at a time. My first point is, because there is no thumbs up and because there is no forums, your words, it doesn't make it as good as Steam. And my retort to that is, yeah, I wouldn't want cancer on my downloader either.
Well, I think so. I never mentioned about the reviewer thing. I just talked about the forum. But the forums are like, I don't know, I view them as wicked important for games to discuss walkthroughs and tips and guides, how to how to get around bugs and systems, and talking about like communicating with a community of gamers that you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there's going to be bad actors, and of course they are, but to just throw that all away, or I don't even know, did Epic even mention that they were trying to make a forum for their own?
Yes.
Oh, then would you dump Epic if they launch their own forums because it's cancer?
I'm not dumping either one, and
I'm just saying
to go to my next point, because it bleeds into them. There's a difference between Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and all that, and what we're talking about here. To download the game, to download the launcher itself is free. It costs you nothing. It's to use the games inside the launcher, which is not true either. Because like I have games on my Steam account that I could put on my Epic account. All I have to do is contact Epic. And I'm not lazy, so I could do that. And vice versa. When the exclusivities runs up for all the games on Epic, if I want a code to go on Steam, I can get it on Steam. So I'm not spending any extra money to play a game and Enter the Gungeon. I did not know I could do that until 2 weeks ago, because Draw has it on his account. I probably have 200 hours in the Enter the Gungeon. I want it on the Epic launcher because I use the Epic launcher now more than any of it, because of how clean it is and how much less crap is on it. It's just a cleaner looking system. So I want to use Epic. And I was like, well, fuck, I don't want to really have to unlock everything again on my account, on Draw's account, because I can't. And then I found out that all I had to do is contact the developer and I can move my game over there. I don't have to rebuy it.
Yeah. So but you're still asking the community to go through an extra step of downloading a thing, which, yeah, to a lot of people may be a laughable thing, but like other people, they're not motivated at all to jump through additional hoops if they can just wait 6 months or so. But like again, my point about the forums is like I like to talk to people about the games I like, and I like to go stay in the launcher to talk about the games that I'm playing instead of trying to go to the online websites or Twitter and try to hit up like Reddit for their things. I like to keep it like close to the launcher, so I just have to alt tab in the game.
So it's a comfort thing for you.
It's a comfort thing, and it's already built in, and the devs already have direct contact with it, so they can. It's one less step of separation than trying to go and have a conversation on Twitter or Reddit, where like the moderators may not be in direct contact with the game devs.
Okay, I think that this has not been an issue for a long time, because Ubisoft has had their own one for two plus years. Origin's had theirs for 2+ years. Like there's a lot of games that you can't. You actually had to leave the system. What's that Alice in Wonderland game, Draw, that came out a couple years ago that we got on Steam, but we couldn't play it unless you had an Ubisoft account. So it's something that still happens and has been happening for years. So, Foxy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you know what, Draw? Let's go to you next. What do you think about this entire situation?
I mean, one of the things that you're going to see, and I believe THQ Nordic, they'll have theirs. I think Square Enix will have theirs. I mean, Bethesda already has one. EA has one.
Rockstar.
Rockstar has theirs. Like pretty much every major game developer has one, or is in the process of making one. Like Microsoft has just Windows. Like it's there. They put their games on there, and then they might put it on Steam or something several months later. And that's what it's going to be. Or if they put it on Steam, it's going to be, well, you're still going to have the other service installed in order to play the game, like the Uplay games. If you want to play any game from Ubisoft and you buy it from Steam, you still have to have Uplay installed regardless. So they're just going to force you to install it to play it. And most of those other platforms all have other games from other publishers on them. Like you look at EA, there's games from almost every major publisher on it. They even they have Uplay games. They have games that are from CD Projekt Red or from GOG.
So is it safe to you? So my question to you is it safe to say that most of the people that have an issue with the Epic launcher is like with me and like I was and like Noah is comfort?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I mean, if you really want to play a game, you're going to go to whoever it's exclusive to if you really want to play it.
And the reason why I decided to have Foxy go last because he brought up the numbers earlier with Borderlands. So Foxy, my question to you is, what do you feel about this? And my follow-up question is do you think it has ever hurt a game by only releasing on Epic or on Ubisoft or on Origin?
I don't believe having Epic come into the fray, being a competition to Steam, will hurt the consumer. I feel that this is only going to make Steam fix issues that they have, and I believe the competition will help each other more than anything. And with the whole Fortnite thing, despite people not liking Fortnite, they were the ones that really pushed for a lot of crossplay playability between some games, and Epic was one of those to really push that at the time. With them coming out, I do not see them as a bad thing. To just bring more competition into the fray and forcing some people to do some things a certain way that consumers won't. I can't say they're entirely perfect, but they don't have 10 years under the belt where they've had experience running into an issue and ironing it out either. To the follow-up question, dealt with. Can you repeat the follow-up again?
Have you seen any game that was released exclusively on Uplay, on Origin, on the Microsoft Store, or on Epic that they have said that it's hurt their bottom line by only releasing on those systems?
I wouldn't say it's hurt their bottom line, but the perception, I mean, there's a big negative perception when they release like exclusively somewhere, and this goes with most games, most content, or anything of the sort. But I believe the developers don't really come front and center and say, hey, this is why we're releasing on these. You had some on the Epic Store where they said, hey, they told us if we release exclusively in their store, we're going to hit what we wanted to make on the game. So we're going to stay afloat for releasing this game, and we're going to be okay. But there's very few that's come out openly and talked about it and was completely honest. I want to say even with Borderlands 3, they kind of stayed in the dark of it. And you had some where they kind of pulled their pre-orders from Steam to just being exclusive elsewhere. And I believe a lot of the issues mostly come with being not upfront about some stuff.
Well, I have an example.
Press than bottom numbers.
I have an example, and I'd like to get everybody's feedback on it. Control. The developers of Control expected to only make about $2.5–3 million total because they're not a big name. Well, we found out recently how much they made, and the number is fucking staggering. Because not only did they get paid an X amount for the exclusivity and to put their game together, but they have almost 10 times the amount they wanted to make off the game. So at the end of the day, don't we want more success stories like Control?
So to clarify, you're talking about how Control it was one of their revenues reports.
Yes.
They got like a $10.5 million just
exclusivity check from Epic, and they were only expecting to make $2 million off the game itself.
So that was 1.5 to basically be exclusively on their platform before even any purchases were made.
Yeah. And from what I understand, and if you have proof of otherwise, what I've read, from what I understand, they took that money and put more into the game and made the game more polished. Because the game is amazing. I have problems with it, but it's mental my side than actual wrong with the game. Everybody I've seen play that has played this game longer than 30 minutes will tell you it's an amazingly good, polished game. Yes, it's got bugs. Every fucking game on Earth got bugs. I've never found a game ever that Rev can't break. So that I can't hold against him. But like when you start your game life off with already in the green, how can that not be good for the game and the developer to make more?
Yeah, like it's why I didn't bash. Like, if games need it, take the Epic deal. Try to not be like Ublex though, and like spit in the face of the game community as you take the big money check. Because those guys lost a lot of face during their big Epic announcement.
What game?
Ublets, I think. They
No, actually, that is incorrect.
Okay, well, that's podcast. So speak, Draw. What's happening?
What ended up happening with Ublets is they weren't actually offered a big check. They just asked and said, we'll cut some of the fees and you're going to make more money because you won't have to pay how much, like a certain amount, right? So they decided to go live on, or go exclusive on Epic instead of Steam. And then what happened is the internet started attacking the couple behind the game, sending them death threats and saying that they were going to do things to the guy's wife, to the point where Epic stepped in and started actually helping moderate their Discord. People from Epic community and other Epic games and other companies that are involved with Epic have stepped in and started helping them moderate their game, and have since then started offering them money because of what has happened to them.
But yeah, so that whole thing was a very ugly mess. If you read the announcement thing that I posted in chat,
I'm reading it now.
Let's see, towards the bottom half, it just comes off as like a very like condescending way to speak to their people who were expecting like them to get their game on Steam. This game was I believe funded on Patreon too. Well, there's a bit of crowdsourcing or activity with it too. So this wasn't just like a game developer like making their own game. There was some, I can't find it. There was some like crowdsourcing behind it. So there was initially some people kind of upset.
They had received money through like Patreon or Indiegogo or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was the initial complaint of like, hey, we kind of gave you the money and you took the other deal, which is good for you, but then you kind of like talked down to the people who were expecting to look forward to your game. And they had this lovely tone that like they didn't really need to have, and it came off a little unprofessional and a little demeaning. People took offense to it. Other people got attracted to it, and it became
is there more to this release? What they're saying?
It was this, and then they were like,
that was their announcement.
Because if it's this announcement, it causes shit. Human beings are trash, and they don't deserve a game company that makes games.
And
because
so
I'm reading it, and Draw, you've known me longer than anybody here. Draw and Wooly, you've known me both for 7+ years. Am I not one of the most negative fucking people you've ever met?
What?
As I'm reading this, I see them actually explaining word for word what is going on. That's not being condescending. That's just actually explaining what the fuck is going on.
That whole second part though, with like, why be angry at us when you could like, it was written oddly, and then
the thing that happened after this was people started attacking them. So then they made it. They and maybe they didn't respond in the best ways, but basically it was we offered the game and supporters the game through Patreon, but we never said it would be Steam exclusive. We never said that. And so they said, we don't actually owe you guys anything because it is our game and it's what we made.
So the release statement is not what got him shit. Because if the release statement, if what I just read is the shit,
well, this is what started it.
If that's what got him, the death, I agree with him. Nobody deserves their fucking game, because that is a shitty thing to do. Because that release, it's worded in a way to make people understand why they did exactly what they did. There's no condescending tone. This is why we had to do what we do, and that's even the wording. Let me read word for word. I accidentally closed it. Angry at Epic, us the world. We are aware of the backlash that it's hitting the games in the Epic. Of course they are aware. So then they go through the biggest arguments, and every one of their arguments is spoken in, I won't say a loving way, but it's not condescending. This is how it has to be for the world to get better. Because if you scroll down, it says here's a few suggestions. It changes the climate, human rights abuses, a new Twitter desktop UI, the last season of Game of Thrones. They're right. They're absolutely right. These people spend a lot of time doing and studying and making things, video games, or studying the climate, or fixing some of the sex slave trade and all that shit. And then people are just shitting on them because they decided to do something that could help their pocketbook, which is the ultimate, no matter what anybody says. If you're a streamer, if you make YouTube videos, if you make video games, if you are a developer, if you are a publisher, or if you're a company that owns all the underneath, the whole point of doing this is to make fucking money.
I mean, the key word is industry after all.
Yeah, it's the industry from the bottom up. Now, Foxy, with him not really being a streamer and not really being a reviewer, he could have words about this. But the people in the community, us streamers, us podcasters, us YouTubers, the people that work with developers, the community managers, we're in the industry. We're in this together. For them to make money means we can make money. For us to make money means the next person can make money, and it keeps the industry alive. Because this is the same issue that TV went through when TV became the upper hand from radio. People on the TV was getting threatened and said they're no good and da. Guess what? They were wrong, and so are these people. Now, after that, condescending tones about the way they're being treated. Yeah, fuck you. You come at me, you tell me you're gonna rape my wife, which I just read on fucking Google. You come at me and tell me that you're going to murder me because of a fucking video game. Get a fucking grip and stop playing video games. Go get a real life and get the fuck away from video games. You have no business in the community of video games if that's how you interact with a developer of a company. And that's not a hardland stance. That is my size 16 foot planted fucking down saying fuck you. Because that is absolutely unnecessary. No matter what they say. That was said to that man. That was said to his wife.
Oh, there's a lot worse stuff. A whole lot.
I hope you have a fucking kid so we can kill him too. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
It got pretty disgusting. And it was all because of that original post where they were simply saying, hey, we're releasing on Epic.
And what Noah just posted. So the guy didn't want it to be on Epic. So he doesn't.
His currency thing.
Okay, so that doesn't mean that just because he said it's not, nobody's owed a game. Like, unfortunately for all of us, until you guys as a collective whole, streamers, podcasters, YouTubers, content creators, until you all say, no, we own the rights to this game once we buy it. That's how every game is. What he said may have been worded wrong, but we don't know. That screenshot shows a shitty response from him. But we don't know 5 minutes before was he being told that someone was going to rape his fucking wife.
And here's the real thing. Is unless you actually own a cartridge or a disc for a game, you still don't even own that game.
That's what I'm saying.
If the developer wants to come on Steam and revoke your game because you did something to them in their community, they have every right to do that. Because if you read the end user license agreement, which most people do not, you do not own that game.
You can one up that. You can one up that, Draw, because me and you can go back to our personal lives. League of Legends, Dota 2, World of Warcraft. How much money have we spent on those 3 games? A lot, right? We don't own it. We don't own a fucking thing on that. And at any point in time, they want to revoke our access to that, they can. So what he said is not wrong, but like I said, it's said in a way that basically fuck you. Well, yeah, we don't know what was like. How is it an issue of pounding on somebody for making a decision that's better for the livelihood of the game and his family? Because I didn't know about this, and I'm kind of disgusted, and I kind of want to play the game now, just because that's a disgusting set of behavior. The things that was said to that man that I just Googled is fucking disgusting.
It's a nice game.
Is it a nice game? See, I'm gonna
It's
have to
a nice, happy game.
Well, like you like Pokemon, you like games where you farm.
Yeah.
It's all those things combined.
So we'll get back to Noah's original thing. Well, the Patreon or a GoFundMe or whatever the hell they started.
Mm-hmm.
I would put money on it that it does not say anywhere on that program that it was going to be exclusive to Steam. And
No,
if you're over the age of 12, anywhere in this world and play video games, you know goddamn well that there is a chance that it's not going to be released on a system that you want. Hey, didn't we just talk about Dead by Daylight releasing on Switch? Tell me, Draw. You're a Nintendo fanboy. Did you ever think a game like Dead by Daylight? Hey, calling a spade a spade. You're a Nintendo fanboy. Did you ever think that a game like Dead by Daylight would be on Switch?
Yes.
How?
Because Doom was on Switch first.
Doom was on Switch first?
Yeah.
No, Doom was on a PC first.
No, what I mean is Doom has been on it for months.
Well,
So,
okay,
yeah.
so even
I'm being a smartass. Yeah.
I'm talking about those kind of games.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. Originally, you would think it's all going to be family friendly games, but
yeah. So there's nowhere in my mind. Dude, you just taught me something new, Draw. I didn't know Doom was on Switch. That's insane.
I got another comment to add on to that.
What's that?
There's some games that are censored on PS4, but that censored content is still on the Switch version.
What?
Yeah.
You know some of those games that Lolly likes to play. Some of those games are coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
And I get and you know you couldn't see me, but you know when I said coming, I had to do.
Yeah. Back off motion. So I guess my question is, and this is to everybody, and then we can bounce if y'all want, or we can keep talking because it's good conversation. Is why is it a fucking issue now when they've been doing exclusives from PS4, Xbox, and PC for the last fucking 20 goddamn years?
And exclusives to Nintendo and fucking Sega and everything.
So there's a slight. You want me to go first?
Yes, absolutely. Because right now you're the only one arguing. So yes.
Sure. So there's a bit of a difference between Link and Zelda and Pikachu and Pokemon being exclusive to the Switch because Nintendo paid for the development, like ground up for those games. And there's a slight different feel from when like Borderlands 3 gets an exclusive deal on the PC when like they were already kind of making the game to begin with. Well, I don't know the timeline, but there's been instances like Lost Worlds where the devs were updating the Steam page up to the morning of the Switch, the Epic's announcement before, well after the game was being built. So there's this mentality of like Epic's coming in and just like scooping up the finished and not quite done games compared to like Last of Us and Super Smash Bros, where Sony and Nintendo has been on the ground for funding them up, building them up, instead of just kind of coming in and like scalping them a little bit.
Okay, I actually was hoping that was the response, because I can say it very clearly. I can go through right now on the Epic Games launcher that I have open, just on the games that the account owns, and I can name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games on the account that I have open that were not scalped in any fashion. They were given new life by being put on that system. But
well, then you also hear people about like the Rocket League, where they just got bought and then it's no longer available.
But that's literally how businesses work in every other facet of life.
Oh yeah, still doesn't make it people less angry or miffed about it.
No, it does. I've seen more bullshit as somebody. How do I say this without getting in trouble? As somebody that works for a company that was bought out by a much more larger company, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the people that work for the company, if it means more in the pocketbook, they don't give a fuck. And I guarantee you, after the podcast, I'll tell you what I'm talking about, and you're going to say you didn't give a fuck that it happened. But it still happened, and it still affected a ton of people, like 22,422 people. The gamers, the internet, and you would have to go back and watch that podcast. You should. I'm pimping our shit. The internet culture is so much different and toxic than real life culture that it's not night and day. It's night and, hey, look, I'm 6 feet under the ground being yelled at to die. Because as somebody that has personally been told to commit suicide and murder my wife and hopes she gets into a car accident and hopes that my son has an insulin shock thing and dies, as somebody has personally watched Drawl get attacked the way he has, Drawl is one of the kindest fucking people. Yes, he's an asshole at times, but Drawl is still one of the kindest people I've ever met. Our friend, God rest his soul, Darkchild, people doing what they've done with him. That shit doesn't happen in real life, Noah. So it's an us problem, not an Epic and Steam problem, because the what is the word I'm looking for? Where you think the entitlement of fucking video game players is so fucking bad that it puts a stain on the rest of the world. Because last week, Wooly, see, he already knows where I'm going. Last week, we thought that we were going to get to play certain game modes and do things certainly together on Call of Duty. But we found out the day they announced it that we don't. And yes, there were some idiots out there that attacked the developers and said the shitty things. But what I just read from Ooblets, fuck me, man. There's some companies that we don't deserve. There are actually companies that we don't deserve. And I think that a lot of them are starting to show up on Epic. The company that makes Rebel Galaxy.
I've been moderating for Ooblet since that happened under alternate Discord name because of that whole thing.
The fact that I can play fucking Lego and Batman games on Epic, and it's made me interested in games. How long has Arkham Knight been out? Forever, right?
Yeah.
3 years, I think.
How long has Asylum been out? And City?
And some of those are 6, 7 years old.
I'm now interested in playing them because the Epic Store is giving this game new life.
Well, like when you get a free game on Steam, you only get it for a weekend. When you get a free game on Epic, you get it forever.
There's been some free for the weekend, keep it forever deals. I think Sniper 2 on Steam was free.
I mean, there's been a couple, but it doesn't really happen hardly at all anymore.
And and Draw's account's got like 5 or 6 free games in the last 2-3 weeks because I'm like, hey, free game, click.
And also with Epic,
Hey.
Epic's very forthcoming. I just have the Epic launcher just start on my computer, but it will straight up pop up, hey, we got something free for you.
Yeah.
Every week,
Like
to
every
every
time.
2 weeks, there is a new game or games for free on Epic.
For the last 2 weeks, there's been 8 games added to your account for free.
And I mean, they're not making money on that.
No.
So
That's just and like I said,
it's not all about the money. But
Arkham City's been out forever, right? And I now want to kind of play it because it's on Epic and it gave it new life to me. And I am actually, you know, I'm a sports person above all of them, but like video games is very important to me. And I think because I'm so passionate about Noah is why I wanted this discussion to continue, because I understand it's 100% comfort with you. There is no forums. There is no forums. They're being added. There should be no up and down vote system ever for a fucking video game release. Ever.
Well,
There should be a review.
What about a number score system?
Well, yeah, no, I'm okay with that too. But anybody yesterday, was it yesterday, Draw, when I was playing? Yeah, it's yesterday when I was playing Factorio with my friend Gary. We got kicked off. We saw and Draw came to me and said, "Oh yeah, all of Steam's down." And he gave me a website, and I was looking at the website, and not 9 million people have the right to say and not say how good a game is. Because there are some people out there that is me, but doesn't have a heart. So like to me, I described it to y'all before the podcast started. There was a game that Draw gave me to do a review of. I did a review, and the way I worded it has kept me being able to do reviews for 7 years. Thank you, Draw. The way these people do it on Steam, for the most part, is not constructive. It's destructive. And until, and I think Epic's going to do it. I honestly think that Epic will be the one to create a system to where you can give a, rating on the game, but you can't sit there and shit on a game. You can't sit there and be like, well, the person that made this should give me back my $20 and a blowjob and a line of cocaine and should be able to give tacos to Wooly every fucking 3 days. That's the kind of shit that happens on Steam on a regular basis.
So how would you try to how would you introduce a rating system but gatekeep it?
Go ahead, Foxy.
The thing is, Noah, if your game's doing well and it's getting good reviews and people are loving your game, the developer's store page isn't going to shy away from showing all that.
Yeah, I know that.
And for the most part with me, if I'm ever kind of iffy about a game, usually, they'll do, like, especially like the biggest games of the year, they'll have like their accolades and everything. Like they'll vocally say on their pages, hey, this is what we won, this is what we got, this is what we're nominated for. And that more so does more than someone saying if it's bad, or like a store that has like nothing on it or a store page. But them just mostly promoting the good stuff will push them over more than not really saying what they've done or how good they've done.
And for me to answer your question, I have actually an answer. And I said this to another game developer. We'll name them Riot Games. They probably make a game that you've heard of. No.
Rolling Thunder?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I think it should do a little something like this. I think that they take away the upvote, downvote shit because of bombs, because of what Steam users has used as a weapon. Take that away. You get a chance to put in what you think of the game with ban certain words. Like no more use of the word rape when talking about a video game. It shouldn't be a thing in the world unless you're talking about rape. So there's words you can get rid of, and there's words you can use to replace rape. I played this game and I wrecked the shit out of it. I beat the living fuck out of it. Those words may sound just as violent, but it doesn't have the context. So you're getting rid of vocabulary that does not need to be needed. And that's not a First Amendment right. That is making sure that there's words not being used that should not be fucking used. That's first off. Second off, the number game. You give them a star system, and they can put in 1 to 5 stars or 1 to
old
10
YouTube
stars.
kids.
The old YouTube system, yes. Because you know why it worked so well? Because it was the best system. The like and dislike thing, it's like this. Drawl and Foxy decides, okay, we both have this Foxy going, and Woolly's a mammoth. Let's make a game about two wolves, two foxes being friends with a mammoth, and they have to use platforms to get around the game. I'm coming up with a game for you developers. Use it. I don't fucking care. But Woolly is the biggest part of the game because he's, one, the biggest character, and two, he's the one that moves the two foxes around in the game. Everything goes good. Release is good. Everything's good. Oh, everybody loves it. Oh, the controls, the sound, everything's perfect. Then Woolly, something that happened in 2011 happened. And something Woolly said on a video in 2011. And this is, I hope to God, not true, because I will fight to death for fucking Matthew Woolly. At the end of the day, what he said in 2011 is going to cause that game and all the hard work that Draw, Foxy, and Woolly put into that game to fucking fail, because it's then fuck these guys. They didn't don't da 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 da, and it's just beat down. Don't allow that at all.
So you don't. When reviewing a game, you review the product separate from like the creator's point of view and stuff.
Yes, that's how it should be anyway. Do you look at the Mona Lisa and give a fuck about who painted it? No. You look at a beautiful work of art. Do you look at Starry Night and think about, okay, he's fucking crazy. Never mind. Bad example. He's fucking nuts. But do you look at any piece of art and think, I bet you that guy owns slaves? No, you don't. You're just like, that's a beautiful work of art. The guy sucks, but that piece of art right there is beautiful. And
I have a game for you.
I have a great example to kind of build on that, because I'm sort of like that when it comes to Michael Jackson.
Me too.
I love his music. I love him as a professional, but maybe not as much as a person.
Michael Jackson, Tupac Shakur for me, Foxy.
Remind me much later after the broadcast, because there's a game that's in hot water right now.
Well,
because of what
you can make art bad. You can make art to be harmful. And I'm not talking about that. That's why I use the example of two foxes and a woolly mammoth running around the Arctic wilderness. Because just because the game developer, the person that came up with it, did something wrong, doesn't mean that 9 million neckbeard sweaty bastards should be able to go on their fucking page and downvote them and make it look bad and say that anything's wrong with the game.
Okay.
With the Epic Store, though, I do like it how a lot of companies have taken focus to smaller companies and kind of basically going to them, giving them lots of support and money, going, hey, we're your best friend and we're here to help you. And it's basically the best investment for very little, because there's a lot of companies that would just take like huge percentages from them just to give them a lot of this money. And they're just basically going, hey, you just stay on us and we are open arms to you with anything you need.
Nintendo been doing that for the Switch recently.
A lot of companies have.
I have a feeling that
Xbox.
Epic has changed a lot in the community when it comes to certain behaviors. Like, you know what? Fucking Draw will tell you I hate Fortnite. I fucking hate that game. But thank you, Fortnite, for being able to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare with Wooly 2 weekends ago and when it releases. Because he's playing on PC. He's playing on PS4. I'm playing on PC. And without Epic, that was not going to happen.
Another funny thing,
how?
though.
Call of Duty's Activision. What did they have to do with it?
They 100% proved, Fortnite 100% proved
they
to
set
the
the
world.
precedent.
Yeah, they set the precedent. So, you know.
Okay. I thought like they paid money to like make it work.
No.
That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm not gonna lie. It wouldn't surprise me if Epic got a little bit of money from, because the systems worked really fucking well.
Epic's made a lot of crossplay possible.
Yeah, a lot.
But another funny thing, Lo, with Fortnite is I saw this a lot even when I was at GameStop when I worked there. You get a lot of people who've been on Steam and other games, and it's we're reaching our 30s, 40s, whatever now, and they're kind of now turning into the old men that they said. It's like, man, it's like the old guys always hate what the young kids like, and I did witness a lot of that at GameStop. Because it's like I don't think they realize, like, even I was that cringy when I was playing Halo.
Well, Foxy, just so you know, and once again, I have proof of this. I was one of the very first 10 people to ever stream Fortnite, ever.
Yeah, I mean,
My
I don't like it as a game, but I love them. I
my
love Epic
my
and what
issue,
Fortnite's done.
yeah, my issue has never been the kids in a game. Because I played competitive Halo 3. I played competitive Madden. I am a competitive fighting game player when I want to be. I've never had an issue with the children. It's everything else that surrounds Fortnite that makes it toxic.
Yeah,
I did a community management intern for
Yeah.
Epic, and I was working on Fortnite years ago before it released.
I just wanted to make sure that was clear to everybody. My hate for Fortnite has nothing to do with children. It has to do, once again, with what I've always had a problem with: a bunch of sweaty neckbeards fucking being assholes on a video game.
one thing I did love about Fortnite, though, is they actually capitalized on their popularity. Like, one thing I really hated, especially with Team Fortress 2 and all these other ones that came out with Steam and a lot of these huge hits, is they never really capitalized on merchandising or other things. But Fortnite really went above and beyond on that to
As
really make their
much
fans happy.
as much as I dislike Ninja, I will say the smartest thing Fortnite ever did was ride Ninja to the ground.
I mean, they should.
Yeah.
I mean, they should basically. If you have someone that's basically propping up your game and they're like one of the most watched people and they love your game, you need to capitalize on that.
And they did. Because there's a lot of games, I mean, we just talked about MK for like 20 minutes that don't do that.
Epic as a whole has made a lot of very smart business choices.
And the whole point of this, Noah, is I understand your comfort, but I would just want you to understand the only thing comfort wise that you will actually ever miss if you move to Epic is that fucking forum.
I wouldn't
Well,
even
don't
call
forget
it
my
moving.
friends list and those people.
Well, okay. But I could have swore that you can migrate your friends list from Steam to Epic. I don't have to swear. I know you can do that.
Yeah, you can.
So no, no on the friends list thing.
Even on the friends list thing for me, especially because I got people on Steam I play with, but a lot of those people they're on my Discord that I'm on, and even those people on my Discord, I'm also on Facebook and everything, and even have phone numbers and whatever. I mean, they're my friends are good friends. So there's not like I can always see them somewhere.
Yeah. I also use Tabletop Simulator, and I've used, I think, like 2 other games that really rely heavily on the Steamworks page.
I just want to make sure something else is crystal clear. Me, nor Draw, nor Foxy, nor Wooly is trying to tell anybody to dump one for the other. They go together like apple pie. They one is the crust because they're old and sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good, aka Steam. And then you put these smooth, yummy, hot, juicy apples in there, and then you put the other ones as a top, and you have a complete pie. You can't have a complete pie without a crust and a top in the inside.
Okay, then what's the vanilla ice cream then? Because I went to salad mode.
Good old games.
Good old Nintendo.
I was gonna say the Blizzard launcher because my favorite games are on that, but like good old games is probably the right.
I think the better response allegory is they don't go together; they compete, like Coke and Pepsi. You got one who's resilient to move, change their formula, or experiment with good different flavors.
So gross as Coke.
Coke, steamy Coke. And then you have Pepsi that like constantly like just throws out like look at Pepsi's Japanese flavors.
Yeah,
Pepsi
I,
Man.
I was
And
going
then
to
just
use
throw anything against the wall and see if it sticks. And then
I was going to use that, but that's not true because if it's anything that sticks, that's Steam. Steam has had 9 games on it that they've had to ban for how bad they are. Just saying. That means they literally don't give a. All Steam wants is the money that each game can make, no matter how bad. Or do I need to really say the name of school shooting simulator? That is, you have no leg, no moral leg, no leg to stand on at all to say that Epic throws shit at the wall while Steam.
no, I
they
meant
would
like
never.
gimmicky. I meant like,
I meant he
going out
was-
and buying like free games. That's a new thing we haven't done that everyone does recently. Let's do that. Or like, doing like off the wall like shenanigan stuff.
Yeah, I know it was kind of going more into like the experimentation.
That's
like
the thing.
and as you have two businesses that are competing against each other, they have to experiment or make things better. Either one, the consumer wins in the end as they
Other than
fight.
exclusives, though, Foxy, to you, other than a few exclusives, what the hell has Epic done that's any different than Steam? And I get to say this. I didn't think I would in this podcast. Don't worry, I'll wait.
So besides exclusivities, what Epic's done bad?
Done different than Steam.
Oh, done differently other than that. I think I kind of mentioned this already. Whenever there's something free on Steam, Epic, I don't even have to open the Epic launcher for them to tell me, hey, something's on free. Even when you open up the launcher, they'll be right there largely on the front page, despite other sales ads. They'll basically say, hey, this is free now, grab it.
So that tells me 2 things about you as a human being, and I'm kind of glad to know this about you. 1, you never close down your computer except for reboot, and 2, you don't notice the great big fucking box that shows up in your face every time you open when there's a free game.
Oh, I don't ignore pop-ups. They usually,
every time you open up Steam, that big box comes up and it shows you games that's for sale. If there's one for free, or they're having a free weekend, or there's something free in a game, it shows up in that box 100% of the time. So it's the same thing every time. So that's nothing new. Literally, the only thing that Steam and Epic does differently right now is something that Steam used to do, and that's exclusivities.
I never noticed that box because every time I would open up, Epic, they're like, "Oh, hey, here's the free thing," and then I open Steam, it's like, "Oh, here's what's available or on sale."
Yeah, if you go through them, if there's something free on the launcher, it's in that box. And since Steam is a much bigger platform, they have to promote more than just the free stuff. So they give you a mix of it. Here's what's that Diablo game, Jarl, that Critty plays all the fucking time?
Diablo?
No, on Steam.
I don't know.
Path of Exile. Thank you, Sean. Path of Exile. Path of Exile was on that box for me 3 days ago. It's a free game, boys. I'm just saying. So I think the main thing is people need to learn to get the fuck out of their comfort zone and enjoy everything. Enjoy the entire pie. Because yes, Steam and Epic is competing, but at the same time, they're making us a yummy fucking pie. And we get some crusty shit that tastes good from time to time from Steam, and we get the delicious apples from fucking Epic, and we get the lacings and the lattice and the top crust from Origin and all of that, and then a big old scoop of vanilla bean ice cream right on the fucking top, melting into it from GOG.
But Rev, I like it in my hidey hole.
Well, you of all people should know I love my hidey. You play games I can hide in.
For those that don't get that,
you've never sat for 45 fucking minutes on fucking PUBG with me while I hid in a fucking door. No, wait, you have. Never mind. Shit.
For those that get that reference, video we were talking about Call of Duty earlier.
Yeah, it'll be linked down below. because we want everybody to check, because we want feedback if we should do more of those videos together. What? You're done? All right, so we'll leave it with this. Enjoy your apple pie. Stop giving devs death threats. Stop being assholes. And see you next month on the first. Well, hold on. Wait, Rev, don't say the first and then be wrong. November 1st for the next episode of TDM Monthly. Draw, Foxy, Noah, Wooly, thank you for being here.
It was a pleasure.
And is there anything else y'all want to shout out before we're done?
No.
www.drastikmeasure.com. Woo!
Hey, Wooly, make sure that goes on huge fucking letters across the screen because he yelled it. But for everybody else, I want to say thank you for listening and enjoying. I remember when we hit 100 subs, we're going to actually try and start moving this to the real podcast sites. And one of these episodes each month will be live streamed on Rise Up Gaming. So for that, I say thank you. Make sure that y'all hit the follow button and see y'all next month for TDM Monthly.